So hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits video. This is a homebrew update, well more of a homebrew tasting actually. So today you can't really see it, there you go, just there, that one. Yeah, today I've actually barrelled up, oh god, itches from hell. I need to take some hay fever tablets. I've barrelled up a rhubarb wine that I put on to brew the other week. My eyes look dead funny then for a second. I've got a wonky eye vision or something. Yeah, so it's been a few weeks. Obviously, as you know, if you follow the channel, that I've had a few interesting weeks at work and that. And so much upheaval, so much bloody negativity and stress. And now I'm coming out of it. In fact, I'm moving on and they fucking stay in the background. So, yeah. So, I've got around about 20 litres of rhubarb wine. I grow my own rhubarb, so it didn't cost me anything for the rhubarb. 4 or 5 kilos of sugar. I can't remember which now, it's been a while. I think it might have been 4 actually. And then obviously yeast, so it did cost me 4 bags of sugar. What's that? £2, £2.40. Yeast, pound, £3.40. £3.40 for 20 litres of wine. Just goes to show you, by creating your own produce in your garden, you can then turn that into a wine. Well, hopefully, I ain't tested it yet. The wine that will be drinkable. Now, I have done rhubarb wine before, in the early days of the channel. Slightly different recipe that I've done this time. So we'll see if my way of doing it is better or the other way that I'd read on the internet was better. But to be fair, as long as it tastes like bloody rhubarb and it's wine and alcoholic, I don't give a shit anyway. So, as you would expect, because it hasn't really settled, it's quite a hazy pour at the moment. Now, what happens with wines over time, they basically filter themselves. So it doesn't look the most interesting of wines, does it? I did use both, bloody itchy, green and red rhubarb. So you'd be hoping for more of a pink tinge really, but it is what it is. It will clear. So this is day 1 of barrelling. What will happen is as time goes on, if I let it time go on, obviously, because you know when you fancy a drink, don't you? And if you had a shite day at work, you come home and you think, okay, now get that wine out. Yeah, pint of wine or pint of brandy, whatever, you know. Although you really shouldn't, obviously, you know, it's not good for your health. But hey-ho, being in a stressful environment is not good for your health, is it? So, let's see how we go. Tentatively. On the nose then. Definite rhubarb on the nose, definite. Oh yeah. That's got some lovely rhubarb aroma. Better rhubarb aroma than what the rhubarb stout that I've also just done a video on, which you will see before this video. Do you notice how much more stronger I am? I can sense it myself, much stronger in the way I am. So yeah. And I can feel myself starting. There's going to be a while, but starting to return to that normal, quite strong personality. I'm just plucking up courage. I've drank prune juice wine, and yeah, it wasn't good. In fact, every time I think about it, I need to go into the toilet. You know, it just. Whew. I'm nearly there. Right, goes. Okay, so it's been up there for weeks. Quite sweet at the moment. That's not to say it won't, as it ages, filter out. So it feels like more of a sweet wine at the moment. Whereas before, when I did it, the rhubarb actually, see, there's different contrast. When I did rhubarb homebrew before, homebrew wine, I was told to cut the rhubarb up, chuck it into a fermentation bucket, just pour the sugar over the top, leave it overnight. The sugar basically goes into the rhubarb, and then hot water, cold water, blah blah blah. Make sure the water sugar's dissolved, up to 25 litres, yeast over the top. Job's a good one. And it turned out to be quite a decent strength rhubarb wine. Whereas this time I boiled it in a pan and then added the sugar to it, you know, got rid of the sugar, cold water, blah blah blah, put the yeast over the top. So this time it's actually produced, oh my god, I can actually feel it there, feel the strength, a sweeter wine. So and again, definitely tastes of rhubarb, really strong rhubarb. It's definitely more on the sweet side. If you like your rhubarb and ginger gins, or even rhubarb gins, this is again an interesting concept for you, because if you like rhubarb gins, this is just basically a weaker version of a rhubarb gin. So, very interesting, very. I couldn't even guess the strength, and to be honest, I'm shit using them hydrometers, so I ain't even bothered with that bloody thing. I know it comes up with a thing at the end, and I just can't be arsed with it. If it tastes good, that's all I care about. So, you know, you can guess the ABV, I suppose. I mean, I would have thought it'd be around 11%, but we've been a little bit on the sweet side in the taste. Whether when it ages, it gets better and goes a bit stronger, because I have found that with some homebrews, they go stronger. I am still only a learner when it comes to brewing. I'd need to do a lot more studying and that, and you know, buying the kit, but the kit's expensive for the proper stuff, you know, which is why I tend to stick to the cheap stuff, because obviously I ain't got the money, you know. I mean, there's an investment on this beer wall of probably about 600 quid in beers, if not more, you know. There's a good 300 beers. I mean, in here, totally, I've probably got close to 400 beers and lager ciders, whatever. And then I've got my spirits and my wines. So there's some investment. God, if it ever burnt down, I'd be fucking crying. But yeah, back to this. So it doesn't look great, but I think if I left it a week, because obviously I've only just, in the last hour, transferred it to the barrel. So if I left it a week, I reckon it'd go clear. It's clearing up a bit, as you can see now. And it looks, on there, it looks like there's a bit of a pink tinge. And there's some strength in it. Whew. I didn't feel it at the start, but I'm starting to feel it now. And I don't drink too much tonight, because I'm surprised I didn't get a bollocking today when I come home. You had too much to drink last night, didn't you? I know you did. So when you can't remember what you did a bit, and it's like, shit, did I do it wrong? And I know I bollocked my lad in the morning, because he come running into our bed at 3 or 4 in the morning, and he's like, and my wife says, Harry, go back to bed, in your own bed. And he has a nightmare, runs in our bed, and then we're all sweating because three of us too close. And I says, it's up to you. But you're not playing on your Switch today if you stay in our bed. Funnily enough, straight out of our bed, back into his own bed. Funny, isn't it? You know, I think if it had been a genuine nightmare, he wouldn't have bothered him. He'd have stayed. So, I think that's the future play. So, looking forward to the weekend. 2 gardens to do tomorrow. I'm definitely going to pick up a nice bottle of wine for next Wednesday when I celebrate my freedom. There was a time when I didn't think I'd get out, and especially when I handed my notice in and they're saying, oh, it's a month's notice, and then you're worried because you think, so is the new employer going to say, I can't wait a month, you know, you told me you can get it straight away. But he was absolutely brilliant, you know, so fair play. My respect is already there. I have respect for people. It's all about how you're treated, how you're spoken to, how you're treated. You know, in the world we are living, don't talk to people like shit. Talk to people the right way. Treat them as you would want to be treated. If you're in someone's face and you're being an arse, then when you get it back and you don't like it, and you think to yourself, well, that's how you talk to people. You know, in the world with bullies and that, and people, you know, if you talk shit to people, you're going to get it back. And sometimes worse than what you've gave it out. And for me, you know, I just want a nice life. I want to do my work, enjoy my work, smile. You know, it's funny because in the last few days at work, I've absolutely gone as chilled as I can be, and I'm actually, funnily enough, enjoying being there. Funnily enough, there's like a war between the staff and the managers, and we don't trust them one iota. And if you're watching this, no, I don't trust you. No, you come in, you fuck about with my hours for starters, which under 2p you're not supposed to. Then when I am my noticing, 1 minute they're telling me no notice, then 4 weeks notice, and in my contract it's 2 weeks, so I won that battle. And then telling me I've got to pay for PPE, 176 quid. And in law, PPE is free. And I won that battle, you know, and it's great. And thing is, you know when you're not in a good place mentally, you can imagine that a lot of people would let them change their hours, let them do a month's notice, and let them get away with charging you for the uniform. Bang out of order. And so you look at these people and you think, and they say to me, oh, we're disappointed you're going. Yeah, but you disappointed me with all the shit you did. And I do not like people who basically are bullying you into doing what they want you to do, and being a bit dirty about it as well. But hey, I was strong enough to repel them. In fact, it actually did the thing. It actually, my anxiety, instead of running me further into the ground, it actually got the anger side of me coming up, and it's like, don't fucking tell me what to do. And I mean, now at the moment, I'm as nice as pie, doing my work, bit more laid back than I would normally be actually, but enjoying life a little bit more. And you know, that's the way forward for all of us really. Got to enjoy life. Can't keep worrying about coronavirus. Although going on holidays, I think we've all shit out of luck on that side of things. America's out about, you know, you might as well just go on holiday in this country, or just go in your back garden. Get a tent up and pretend you're away somewhere. If you ain't got shit neighbours, obviously. You know, I mean, I've got neighbours across the road. Fucking, oh dear, do my nutting. I've got a neighbour. She's the most awful thing going. Not only in, I mean, she gets blokes. She's obviously open all hours, but she gets blokes. I mean, obviously beauty's not a thing, you know, you don't have to be beautiful, but she's not beautiful on the outside, and she's certainly not beautiful on the inside. I've seen her true personality, and the person is as horrible on the outside as she is on the inside, and all our kids have all been trained the same way. You know, you really are a product of your environment. Luckily, as a 12-year-old, I got a shock, and I was going down the naughty route, you know, shoplifting and all that stuff. And as a 12-year-old, got caught by the police, and it stopped it. Never did it again. And I think there's a lot of that. I mean, I was brought up in St Anne's, rough estate. It was the norm, you know. And when you see people doing it now, you think, well, you're fucking brave. You know, get caught, you know, get a prison, you know, get once you've got something on your once you've got anything to do with prison, or you know, being caught on shoplifting or whatever on your on your file, should we say, then your jobs, it ruins your job thing. I mean, luckily as a 12-year-old, it didn't go any further. You know, it was a slap on the wrist, and I never did the same, never did it again. You know, and I'm glad, because you know, a lot of people go down that route. 'Cause it's in a lot of communities, it's normal to be like that, and obviously it's not the right way. You know, go to work, earn your money, be a good person, as good as you can anyway. Don't piss off your neighbours and whatnot. And sadly, there's not a lot. There's a lot of the like these idiots carrying knives, youngsters carrying knives. You think to yourself, get a fucking brain. You know, you're not hard carrying a knife. You know, but in a lot of ways you don't go near them because you don't want to be knifed. You know, one stupid action, and that's it. Your life behind bars. Thank God my kids aren't anywhere near that, and thank God we keep an iron fist over what they do, all of them, even though they are adults now, 2 of them. So, I've talked for way too long, as usual, you know, and this may be the last drink I have tonight, maybe, yeah, we'll see, yeah, maybe, and it is Friday night, just in case anybody watches this on Saturday, and you know, thinks to myself, I will try and put both reviews up tonight. You know, I've already done 4 videos today, but they 3 of them are catch-up videos because I like the last few days. I think everything's getting to me, you know, and I'm getting stronger, but I'm still, you know, still stressed in some ways. So the odd drink too much. But hey, that's life, isn't it? You know? So again, as an experiment, rhubarb wine worked. I did add, we had some sultanas. I did bang some sultanas in. Sultanas and raisins are supposed to give a bit of body. Do they? I don't know. So, rhubarb on the nose, rhubarb on the taste, slightly sweet. Not sweet as in sugary sweet, but there's this element of sweetness to it. And obviously it was slightly hazy. Will it get better? Possibly. Hard to know. Good strength, feeling it. No idea what the strength is. I'm not bothering with hydrometers, they're just a waste of time. They just pee me off. It's already brewed for a lot longer than what it should have been. So I left it in. I couldn't be bothered, to be honest. So yeah. So as an experiment, it's done exactly what I wanted it to do, and I'm very happy. And already at the day 1 of barrelling stage, it's already a quaffable wine. And if you like your rhubarb, taste of rhubarb, don't take too much into the appearance. The appearance is probably a bit off-putting, but the taste is definitely there. Lovely rhubarb aroma, lovely rhubarb taste. Just the appearance it just needs to clear. And I think over a few months it will. So out of 5. starving and some arsehole's got a lovely barbecue on. Last night I had a lovely, just slightly going off in a second, I got one of them Big Daddy rump steaks from Aldi. Got the wife a fillet, cooked it on the barbecue, you know, as you do. We had potato gratins that you get from Iceland, 4 for £2, and got a pack of mushrooms, dashed the mushrooms into a frying pan, got garlic butter, chucked the garlic butter in, you know, cooking them in. I'm looking after 3 things at once, and it was beautiful. It was like heaven, and I'm getting better at cooking. Although I used to cook at the age of 10 when my mum and dad used to go out on the piss and leave us at home with no food. So yeah. So luckily we never did that with our kids. You know, as a parent, you want to be the best for your kids. As an adult, you need to look in the mirror and know. You know, we've all got flaws. None of us are perfect. And addressing your flaws is a good thing. You know, I mean, if you're one of these, it's uses domestic violence. That shit needs to stop. You know, shouldn't be touching your wife, shouldn't be hitting your kids. You know, and you know, if I knew somebody was doing that, one, I'd say to them, if I fucking know you're doing it, I'm gonna fucking knock you out. And we won't need no police to be there. I'll do it. I mean, I won't get away with it with my wife. She'd give me a right good hiding. She's Irish, feisty, yeah. But I won't anyway. You know, I've seen domestic abuse, and it's not nice. You know, too much of that shit in the world, especially during lockdown. You know, but if I was going to say to somebody who's doing it, I say, look, change your will, change your life. You know, apologise, leave the woman. You know, or if it's a woman doing it, because there's women do it as well, obviously. You know, people need to have a strong look at themselves. As a person, I know that I drink too much. Yes, I do reviews, and yes, I suffer with anxiety and stress on a ridiculous thing, but I know I drink too much. And getting old gives me anxiety. Although not in the last year, because I've had too much other anxieties to worry about getting old. And not being there for your kids, your grandkids, that worries me massively. But being truthful with yourself, or if you know what's wrong with yourself, then you've won the war there, and you can change yourself. I know that yes, I do drink too much, but I know that as soon as I start feeling better and this new job is it's more, the new job is not just because it's a dream job. It's moving on. It's putting a line through the chapter of the last year. It'll be a great job for somebody, but not for me. That ship has sailed. But, you know, moving on, putting a line through it all and saying, this is the future, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be fucking happy doing it. And that, you know, it's where you've got to be in life, haven't you? Are we all perfect? God, no. None of us are perfect. Yeah, if you think you're perfect, you're talking out your arse, you know. And yeah, being the better person for yourself, your family, you know, teaching people how to be good. Keeping an eye on teenagers with knives, fucking knives. Yeah, you know, it's an idiot culture. And yeah, people take knives to defend themselves, but what happens is, fucking get stabbed, don't you? You know. It's a funny old world. And that's enough of me going on that, talking that shit. So, can't remember if I already said out of 5, but yeah. Good aroma, good taste, not good appearance. The appearance was a bit thing. Slightly sweet, gotta be honest. Good strength in the ABV, and in time I'll give it another review and see if it gets any better, see if it ages well in the plastic barrel behind me. For now, I reckon about a 4.2 out of 5 in homebrew terms. Never forget that homebrew is different to reviewing beers, ciders, lagers, spirits. I review every category different, not one against the other, because it's impossible to review one against the other. Because otherwise homebrews would be on 1s and 2s against one of the world's best beers, which would be a 4.7, you know. So, ooh, and I've run out of battery. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Cheers. Did I say 4.2? Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, bye.